Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends. This year should be a special schus for the Or Rachel Bas Chaya Rezel, Social Chole Yisrael, and also Refuas Saralea Bas Rivka, Tida Edit Bas Ito Rachel, Rabbi Eliel Ben Tida Edit, and the schus Reb Noam Simcha Ben Reb David Zeb. In the previous year, we saw the Shittas HaRambam. And when it comes to Nidarim, Simanim are necessary, only Shanim are. And we discussed that at some length, and now we're going to try to get a Mahalach in this Sugya. So there is a Chakira Begeder Din Havas Shanim V'Simanim. And the famous Chakira is, are they themselves the Geder of Gadlus? Is Gadlus defined by Shanim and Simanim? That's what creates the Gadlus? Or those are only Simanim for Gadlus? Those are only a sign that the person has reached Gadlus. The Marit, the Tshuv and Siman and Aleph is Marich Levar, that they're only Simanim, Kishmam. And he proves this from the fact that we find Gadlus Bishanim below Simanim. If you have a Saris, if you have an Islandist, these are people, a boy, a girl, who don't have Simanim, and yet they become Gdolim. So you see that if it was the Geder of Gadlus, the Simanim were the Geder of Gadlus, that's the Siva for Gadlus, so then Saras and Islanders should never be Gedolim. But if it's just a Siman for Gadlus, so just because they lack that Siman, we know they're Gedolim in other ways. So you see you can have Shanim without Simanim. When they reach a certain age, they become Gedolim. And we also find Simanim without Shanim. Doros Harishonim, like we say in Sanhedrin Samaches. And sometimes you need neither Simanim nor Shanim. That if a girl gives birth, we paskin that banim areim simanim. So if Shanim and Cyrus were constituted the Geder of Gadlus, so that would mean that without them you couldn't have Gadlus. Ela b'vadai she'ein elu ela simanim legadlut. Efshar la'ashvot zot l'simanei tara b'beimot u'reofot she'einam mehavim et ha'tara Ela stam simanim. By behemoths and ophos, that's not what constitutes the Tara, the Simanei Tara. They're just simanim. What's the raya? That a para that gives birth to an animal that looks tameya, the Vlad is Torah, even though it doesn't have simanim, since we know that it's a mintar. So you see that that's not what establishes the kashrus. It's not the Siman. There's simanim for kashrus, but without them, the animal could also be kosher. Because of this, the Maharit is doicha, the svar of the one who says that kedusha yisol maktana could work with a sveika. Shema via simanim, shema lo via. And if you say that she brought simanim, then maybe she hasn't yet come l'chlal shanim. So it's a sveika. Safek on the simanim, safek on the shanim. This is not true. Because neither shanim nor simanim are the ikar gadlus. They're just a siman for gadlus. There's one safek. Is she a gedol or a ketana? She's a gedol, she's married. She's ketana, she's not. Ve'in makom laharbot sfekot mitzad simanim. Aval, the shita mekubetzet b'Baba Batra nun vav, hu evi מהספר שיטה לא נודע לני שסימני גדלות הם גורמים המהווים את הגדלות ולא רק בגדר סימן. So the שיטה לא נודע למי holds that the siba the gadlus are the simanim. This is machalek in the din of davar v'lechatzi davar between the Eidus and Simanei Gadlus, the Eidus and Shnei Chazaka. The Simanei Gadlus, that in itself is a Siba, whereas Shnei Chazaka, that's just a Siman, it's a Hochacha, it's a proof of Bailus, but it's not the Bailus themselves. But the Simanei Guf are themselves Bailus, like also in the Kovetz Shiurim in the beginning of Pesachim. So again, Shita Mukubetz is Bava Basra and Vav, and Kovetz Shiurim at the beginning of Pesachim. So they hold that it's a gorei. So if we learn Kipashtis Sugya Benida, that the Iker Din Gadlus is Gadlus Hadas, like we saw in the previous year. אז נמצא שהשנים והשערות אינן אלא סימן לגדלות, שהרי הגדלות בעצמה היא גדלות הדעת. Gadlus is Gadlus Hadas. אבל אם הגדלות כדרג גדלות הגוף, כהבנת האור שמח, but as we saw in the previous year, we saw the Or Sameach, but Gadlus is dependent on the body, so then there's room for the Shita, the Svar of the Shita Leno Dilami, that you can say that Simanim are the Gorein for the Gadlus. ויש להוכיח, וכבר נגע בזה בחידושי רב ראובן גרזובסקי, בסוגיה ביבמות בדף י"ב, מדברי הריטב"א, ביבמות בדף פ', שהשערות אינן אלא בגדר סימנים לגדלות. So we could prove from the Ritva that Cyrus are only simanim for Gadlus, but are not the actual Gadlus. That's not what defines somebody as a Gadol. They just assign that person as a Gadol. Shehu Piresh, Ma she'amru sham, ומי שנולדו בו סימני סריס, ben Yudchet. So let's say somebody has simanim of a saris when he's 18. According to Rabbi, becomes a saris l'mafreya from the time he's 12, but that's been a keva, it's a she. Pshat Lashon HaGemara is that it's talking about a zachar. But he learns that it's talking about a nekeva, so this nekeva, when she's 18, and she has simanim that she was never going to be a gedola, so she goes back now and becomes a gedola mafreya from the time she's 12. Aval bizachar, but if he's male, then it's only from the age of 13. A male can't be a gadol when he's 12. And he wants to be doche. Divrei HaMefaresh, who's the Ramban, that it's talking about his zachar, that his zachar becomes a gadol mafreya when he's 12. And that's like the man damar nidam and Hayamid Beis, toich hazman, vela'achar zman, klomar, hasimanim, שבתוך השנה י' ג' נידונים כסימני גדלות אם נשארו בגוף כשיהיה לו י' ג'. That the simanim that the child brings when he's 12, if they remain when he's 13, that's simane gadlus if they're still there when he's 13. And therefore, Saris, who doesn't have Cyrus, we already consider him a gadol when he's 12, as if he had brought Cyrus. That's the sheet of the Ramban that talks man kelachazman about Cyrus, and therefore Cyrus who doesn't bring Cyrus already at 12 can be considered a gadol. But the Ritva's docha this, it's ein omrim toch zman kelachar zman, ela kshevi shtei sarot mamash. It's only when he actually brought the shtei Cyrus, because he brought them before everybody else. But Cyrus, we're only going to judge him as a gadol, like the Rov. And when's the Rov? When he's 13. The explanation is that since we don't have a simon and a raya on Gadlus with the Cyrus, so we're mami this Cyrus al cheskas Rov ha'olam, that after 13 they bring simanim like the din of Chazaka the Rava. But mehechitesi, to say that he's a gadol already from before, he's not better than anybody else. That was stomach that we're not machzik him as a gadol before he's 13. Now, if the Cyrus themselves were mimarkivei hagadlus, then you couldn't go after Chazaka the Rava. Because manavshach, Cyrus mamish, you don't have by a Cyrus. So why should he be a gadol from the time he's 13? If Cyrus make Gadlus, then you're not going to follow the Chazaka the Rava, because the Cyrus themselves, a Cyrus doesn't have. So why should he become a Gadol when he's 13? So what are you going to say? By a saris, that he doesn't have cyrus, there's a special halacha that he doesn't need simanei aguf. So if he doesn't need simanei aguf, we ask the Ritva, so why shouldn't he become a gadol even earlier? The man de'amar toch zman kelachar zman. And indeed, b'das HaRambam, we can explain that he learned that the simanim are b'geder siva, and geder Gadlus. And by saris, there's a special thing that you don't need simanim. And therefore, he's already a gadol from the time he's 12. Because you don't need simanei aguf. And therefore, already by the time he's 12, there's a special halacha that if it's a normal person, a regular person, so when he's 12, you don't know that the cyrus are really cyrus. Maybe it's a shuma, like the Gemara says. Maybe it's not real pubic hairs. But once he's 13, and you see that they are real pubic hairs, so then he becomes a bar mitzvah. But the Ramban holds a saris who doesn't have hairs. So already by the time he's 12, we say tochsman kelachazman, and already when he's 12, he can become a gadol. We explain the Ramban otherwise. Akopan, the Ritva doesn't hold that way. The Ritva holds that he only become a gadol when he's 13. Why? Why? The answer is, it's mashma that he learns that the cyrus are a siman legadlus. And therefore, a saris who doesn't have this siman, we judge him as a gadol limafreya. Mishnas Yud Gimel. Kedin kol adam mishum chazaka derava. If he was kishar kol adam, that brings Cyrus when he's 13, then he'd be bar mitzvah when he's 13. But a Cyrus who doesn't have Cyrus, so then, when you find out that later on that he's a Cyrus, so he becomes bar mitzvah l'mafreya when he's 13, because the Cyrus are not the gorein for the Gadlus, because Cyrus doesn't need Cyrus. They're just a siman for Gadlus. They're a siman that he reached the right age. And Saris who doesn't have hairs, so they're also, you can say that you follow the Chazaka Derava, and that Mistama, when he's 13, he reached age, just like if he would have hairs, Mistama at that time he would grow his hairs. His pubic hairs would grow when he's 13. So to now that he doesn't have, so with the same Chazaka Derava, we say that now he's bar mitzvah. And that's why, when he's 13, he's a gadol, like Rov Tinokos, who follow Chazaka Derava. In other words, you take him with the Cheskes Rov HaOlam, that at 13 he becomes a gadol. At 13 a regular person becomes a gadol because he's probably bringing Cyrus, Chazaka Derava. And he who doesn't have Cyrus also, you say the same thing. That at 13 he probably became a gadol even without Cyrus. You don't need Cyrus before. According to this, we can ask a steer in the Ritva. We say in Yavamas, Yavez and the base, it says that a Yoledes can't be Mimaenis. She can't do Miyun. Refuse her husband when she's married to Rabbanan. She can't do that if she is a Yoledes. We don't find the Yoledes as Mimaenis. So Rav Safra says, because Banim Areim Kisimanim. Therefore, if she gave birth to Katnusa, she's a Gedola, and therefore she can't do Miyun. A Gedola can't do Miyun. Yet Hamotzi Oledus Mimaenis, because Banim Harim Kisimanim, she's already a Gedola. Rabbi Zvid says, Ein Banim below Simanim. There are no children without Simanim. Safra says that Banim Hareim Kisimanim. Banim are considered like Simanim. And Rav Zvid said, you can't have Banim without Simanim. So the Chazon Ish says, Simon Kuf Lamadala to Dafi Beis on the Beis and Yavamis, that Alpi the Ramban and the Ritva, that Ladina, there's no nafkamina between Rav Safra and Rav Zvid. So now it's Shver. Since according to the Ritva, you see Simane Haguf as just a simon legadlus. It's not the siba for the gadlus. It's just a simon for the gadlus. It's not the gadlus itself. So what's the difference then between Rav Zvid and Rav Safra? Also, according to Rav Safra, that banim themselves are simanim. Banim areim kesimanim. All they are is they're just a simon for gadlus. So Rav Zvid holds that banim are a simon, that they're a simanim. And the Mela, they're a simon for gadlus. Because if it's simon for something else, which is a simon for something else, it's also a simon. The first one's also a simon. If a simon for A is a simon for B, which is a simon for C, then simon A is a simon for C. So it comes out then that according to Rav Zvid, banim are simanim. And according to Rav Safra, banim are simanim. Safra says banim are simanim. That's a simon. And Rav Zvid says that the banim, you don't have banim without simanim. So banim are a simon, that there are simanim. It comes out that according to him, banim are also kesimanim. The sof, according to the Ritva, who holds that it's only a simon, what's the difference between Rav Zvid and Rav Safra? If you hold it's a siba, then you can say, according to Rav Safra, you have the siba. Banim, harein kisimanim, they're not simanim themselves. Banim are gadlus. And Rav Zvid holds, no. They're just a sign that they're a simanim. Not that they themselves cause the gadlus, but if you hold that simanim aren't the siba, then they're both essentially saying they're both simanim. That banim are simanim. Rav Safra says banim are simanim, and Rav Zvid says ain't banim below simanim. So there must be banim are a siman for simanim. They're a sign that you have simanim, and simanim are a siman that he's a gadol. So it comes out that for according to both of them, banim are simanim. Pretty shver ritva. So we can explain, based on Reb Chaim Halevin, the Hilchos Ishus, Perek Beis, Halacha Tes, who explains Shitas Harama, that banim, hareim, kisimanim, only mishas leida ve'ela. Asked the Nebuchadnezzar Yosef from the Sugi Ksubis, that there's no possibility of a Na'ara Yoledes, can't have a Na'ara, from 12 to 12 and a half, giving birth, since the Ibor is more than 6 months, so it turns out that she is a Bogeres Beleda. So you can't have a Nara Yoledes, because since the Ibor is 6 months at least, it turns out that she's going to be a Bogeres when she gives birth. So it's mashma, Kedas Hatosis V'Shar Rishonim, that already Mishanas HaIbor, Banim Hareim Kesimanim. And therefore, B'Shas Leida is already not a Naira. The Rambam holds only when she actually gives birth, the Banim are Kesimanim. But the Nebuchadnezzar Yosef brings from the Sugi and Ksubis that already in the Ibor, even before the Leida, she already has these Simanim. Mishas ha'ibur, banim arein kesimanim, and therefore b'shas ha'leida is already she's no longer a naira, because she had this ibur, and the ibur makes her into a bogeres. The ibur is a siman that she's reached the stage of being a bogeres. Shenken, according to the Rambam, Only when she gives birth that she's a Bogeres. Only then Banim are Kesimanim. But it seems from the Sugin Ksubis that already before she gives birth, just when she's pregnant, that already makes her a Bogeres. So the Reb Chaim says that even according to the Rambam, the Ibor's Roy Lechoshev, the Simanim, could be considered Simanim. But since it's not Mevurah until she gives birth, a Ben Kayama, we don't say Gloy Muslim Afreya to consider a Gedolah Mishas Ibor. Since it's not Mevurah until she gives birth to Bnei Kayama, we don't say a Gloy Muslim Afreya, she was a Gedolah Mishas Ibor. Nevertheless, there is a Din Simanim already at the time of the Ibor, and her 6 months is counted from then. Ayin Sham Dvarav HaMukim, V'gam Dvarav HaStumin. What does he mean? What does he mean when he says that the Ibor is Simanim, but since it's not Mavur until she gives birth, we don't say Glai Milsa Mafreya that she's a Gedolah Mishas Ibor, but it already has a Din Simanim Be'ibor, and we count the 6 months from then. What's going on over here? So it would appear, based on what Reb Chaim says elsewhere, and that is that the Din Gadlus, besides what the Cyrus or the Banim constitute a Siman, there also has to be Gadlus Mivureres Vinikeres. There has to be a clear Gadlus. And he explains that that's the reason of Shmuel and Yevamis Daf Pei, that we don't say about a Saris that he becomes Saris, the Glomus Mafreya, that he was a Gadol all along. Why? Because Sof the Osa Shah Lo Haisa Gadlus Mivureres. Sof the Gadlus wasn't clear earlier, and therefore we don't say Gloy Muslim Afreya. And with that is Miyashiv Kushi Setosis, and what's mashma in the Gemara, that even according to the Havamina, there's Nairis with an Ilonis, that is only according to Rav, who says that there could be the Mafreya. The Mafreya, this Naira, with this Ilonis, was considered a Naira. But not according to Shmuel. The question is, why not? Why don't we say, when she brings Simane Ilonis, that beforehand she had 6 months of Nairis? So it must be that even according to Shmuel, that she doesn't become a Gedolah Mafreya, nevertheless, the simanim of her being an islandess testify that she should have been a Gedolah Mafreya, and that she finished the 6 months of Nairis. And only because it wasn't Mavura Ba'osa Shah, there's no Din Gadlus Mafreya. But as far as being Mechashiv and Nairis and Bagrus, you are Mona Misha Rishon. So there is no Nairis according to Shmuel by Ilonis, because it's not Mavur. But Enochinami, that's how she became a Bogeres. First she had her 6 months of Nairis, but she can't be considered that Lamafreya because it's not Mavura. So Zachinu mitoch Devrei Reb Chaim לפי ההסבר האמור שאף כי השערות הם סימן לגדלות ולא הגדלות עצמה. So Cyrus are just a sign for the Gadlus. It's a simon, but it's not the Gadlus itself. That's l'inyan mitzias hagadlus. That is as far as the mitzias of Gadlus is concerned. But besides the mitzias of Gadlus, you also need Gadlus mevureres, vinikeres, in order that the din Gadlus should be chal. Like we said before, that there is a mitzias by Shmuel. There is a mitzias of Gadlus, of Naris, but it's not mavur yet. So until it's mavur, it doesn't count. So besides the mitzias, you also require that the Gadlus hamavureres, vinikeres k'dei lochel din Gadlus. V'im ken, klapei oto din, vis-a-vis that din, the simanim, are considered his Havas HaGadlus, because that's what is mevarer the Gadlus. What's mevarer the Gadlus are the simanim. Because that's what causes us to be meichel the din Gadlus. The fact that it's recognizable. So on one hand, it's just a simon for the metzius of Gadlus, but it also is the etzem Gadlus because it's mevarer the Gadlus. Simanim do that as well. So we can say now like this, that really Ikar HaGadlus is Gadlus Hadas, Kipshat HaSugya B'nida, Kafi Shepirshu HaRishonim, V'Gadlut HaGuf Mehavas Siman, V'Gadlut B'dat. The fact that she has Gadlus HaGuf, that's a siman, or that there's Gadlus B'das. Sharei Yadua She'atpatchut HaGufanit והשכלית קשורים זה לזה, ואם כן, מה שמבואר בכל מקום שסימני הגוף קובעים את הגדלות, היינו בתורת סימן בגדלות בדעת. So in Achinami, when you talk about simanim, that's a siman of gadlus b'das. אבל מלבד זאת, הלא סימני הגוף הם המהווים גדלות מבוררת, שהרי אין לנו מבוא לעמוד על גדלות הדת בלעדם. They also clarify the gadlus, because how else are we supposed to know? So not only are they a simon, but they're also a siva for the din gadlus. They're mevar the gadlus. They're mankir, milashon nikr. They make nikr, they make recognizable the gadlus, which is a tanai, beikar din gadlus. But if it's not recognizable, it's not gadlus. That was the yesod of Reb Chaim. In Achinami, Ibor is considered simanim. But there's no bearer. It has to be mavura. Since it's not mavura, so it doesn't count until she actually gives birth. However, the Metzias, you can already count from before. That's why the Rambam says. That's why it's not a kasha in the Rambam. Because that's when that's the bearer. That's the bearer of Gadlus. However, the Metzias of Gadlus is already Mishas Ha'ibur. But the Banim, the bearer, which is necessary for a Gadlus, is only a Leda. So again, you see this chiluk, that's what's important for us. The chiluk between two aspects of simanim. It's a siman, and that's just a siman for Gadlus Hadas, but it's also a bearer, which means that it's a siva, so it's both. ובקצרה, מתוך דברי רב חיים, למדנו שני עניינים. יש גדלות מציאותית, והיא קיימת כבר בעיבור למנות חודשי נערות, וכן באילונית מאז היותה בת 12 אפילו לשמואל. But even according to Shmuel, even Shmuel agrees that the Ilonist, you make her a Bogeris Lamafreya, but you had months of Nairis that preceded it. According to Shmuel, Shmuel says you don't make Lamafreya. But still, there were times of Narus, because מבחינה מציאותית יש נערות גם באיילונס. So according to Shmuel, there's no din gadlus lamafreya. according to Shmuel, there's no din Gadlus Lamafreya. But, nevertheless, the simanim of the islanders are made that she should have been a Gedola Mafreya, and that she had the 6 months of Narus. But since it wasn't Mavur Ba'osa Shah, there's no din of Gadlus Lamafreya. But the Inyan Chish of Narus Ubagrus, you're already able to count from earlier, Misha Rishona. So there's no Beirur, there's no Narus Lamafreya, and then it's Dafka Rav, she becomes a Nara, not according to Shmuel. Because according to Shmuel, you need Enachinami. You had the simanim of if she became an islandess, she became a Bulgaris, if she had simani islandess, it makes her a Bulgaris. Yes, she had she had Naira 6 months before. But it's not Mavur, and therefore it doesn't count. It doesn't become a Nara Lamafreya. But you're already able to count the Nairas from when she was 12. But since it's not Nikar, she doesn't become, you don't say Lamafreya, she was a Nara then. But you're still able, that's still considered Yemei Naras. Because again, Mibchina Metziutit, Efshar Kvar Be'ibur Limnot Chodshei Narut, like we see in the Sugya and Ksubas. And also with an islandess, already from the time she's 12, even according to Shmuel. But besides that, there's a din, because again, it already starts then. That's not enough. Yesh gam din Gadlus, shu talui bebeirur hadavar leinenu. In order to be a gadol, it has to be, according to Shmuel, it has to be mavur leinenu, it has to be clear. Therefore, the Rambam says, "Banim ar simanim rak mishas leida." Because it's only mishas leida. That's the beira. That's what makes it nikar that she's a gedola. Umishihiganu lechan, אפשר לומר בדעת הרמב"ם, שבזה חלוק דין שנים מסימנים. That's the difference, according to the Rambam, between shanim and simanim. Shanim are required. The Gadlus mitzad ha-metzius. That's a siman of Gadlus hadas, like we said. And for that, shanim are enough, even without simanim. Whereas simani haguf are a chalos din Gadlus, that's tali b'davar ha-mankir v'ha-mevareh. Because what's going to be the davar ha-baru? What's going to be what's mevareh? Shanim or simanim? Shanim you can't see. Shanim isn't on the body itself. What's nikar is what's on the body. The simanim are the chalos din gadlus that's totally b'davar hamankir v'hamavareh. And shanim are metzius of gadlus hadas. Not that it's saris becomes Gadol when he's 13, and one day, like the Rambam Nishas Beis Yudalid, even though there's no Davar Hamankir, and there's no Simani Saris, that is a halacha miyuchedes, somebody who's not bar hava simanim, that the shanim alone are kovei gadlus, like Reb Chaim said. So now we can understand this Indian of shame gadlus that we learned in the first shir. But the Sma writes about a dayan. A dayan has to be 13 even without simanim. Even without simanim, it can already be a dayan. But not an aid, because an aid requires a nashim. Because at 13, you have gadlut mitziyutit, you have gadlus hadas. And only where it says ish, there mitzad hadin, you need simanei guf. Besides the gadlut mitziyutit. But where you don't need the etzem din gadlus, which is dai b'das shel gadol, there it's enough to have the gadlut mitziyutit, that's 3 of the shanim. And the Rambam explained that by Nidarim it's all totally in das. You don't need Gadlus. Because again, according to the Rambam, all you have to do is be 13. And then you're Nidarim and Nidarim. You don't need Gadlus Haguf, you just need Gadlus Hadas. And by a Ben Noach, it's all totally in the Metzius of Gadlus and not in the Din of Gadlus. And therefore, he has no Simanim, you just check his Das. Also, Eirachad Bisurim, according to the Beis Meir we saw, Mekach Memtav. As long as there's Das. That's Gadlut Metziutit. So just to summarize what we learned in this Shir B'Siyanti D'Shmaya, that the Din Gadlus for various halachas is totally b'shimanim with Simanei Aguf. And this is included in the Shiurim that are halacha l'Moshe Mitzina. According to Tosfos, Simanim alone are kovea Gadlus be'etzem. The only thing is that until 12 or 13 years old, the Cyrus are not Simanim, they're just a Shuma Be'alma. That's according to Tosfos al Pi HaGrach. But the Das HaRambam, Shalom Shanim are kovea Gadlus be'etzem. According to Tosfos, it's Simanim, but the Simanim, like we learned this in the first year. But the Simanim alone are nothing. They don't tell us anything until he reaches age, because it might not be real puberty. But according to the Rambam, Shanim are kovea Gadlus be'etzem. Pshat HaGemara, in Nida and other places, in the Rishonim and Achronim, it would appear that Gadlus that's required for Mitzvah Torah is Gadlus Hadas. And the Simanei Aguf are a siman, they're a sign that there's Gadlus Hadas. However, from some Rishonim it would appear that Simanim are defined as the Gadlus themselves, not just Simanim law, but the Gadlus itself is in the Simanei Aguf, unlike the Ma'arit. It appears based on Reb Chaim that in the Din Gadlus is included Shei Davar HaMevarer Man Kiras HaGadlus. Therefore, you don't say Gloim Musal Mafreya when the Davar HaMevarer wasn't there, and therefore Simanei Haguf, besides them being Simanim, are also the Etzem, the Chalos Din Gadlus. There, what makes it clear. We have two inyanim in Gadlus. We have Gadlut Metziutit, which is Gadlus Hadas, that's age, and then Gadlus, that's totally something that's Mevarer. The latest Habanim, the Dibber of Safra, that's Din Gadlus, because it's Davar HaMevarer. Banim Areim Kesimanim. That's Mevarer. But according to Reb Zvid, the Leid itself is not Mevarer. It just is no Leid without Havas Simanim. That's the Machlokes. If Safra says that the Leid itself is the Mevarer, and Reb Zvid said, no, it's just a Siman on something else. But there's a Siman. It's a Siman that there's Simanim. And we could say, according to the Rambam, that Shanim that are required for Kviyas Gadlus, that's only Mitzad HaGadlut HaMetziutit. And Simanei Haguf constitute a Chalos Din Gadlus Mitzad Davar HaMevarer. For Gadlus Hadas, you just need years, but to be Mevarer that, you need Simanei Haguf. With that we understood the various halachas that are Kovea Din Gadlus based on years and not Havas Simanim. Like Nedarim, according to the Rambam, the age of a dying, 13, Misma says, Eidus Ishav, Eidus Isur, according to the Beis Meir, Mekach Memkar, according to the Nachshon Gaon. Because there you don't need Din Gadlus, you need Gadlus Metziutit, you need Gadlus Hadas, and also Ben Noach, it's all tolerating Gadlus Hadas. Also, Misha Shegia Ben Liyud Gimel Shanim, Gamim Lo Noda Shehevi Simanim, Yischayev V'mitzvahs, because of Chazaka de Rava. The father is Pater from Chinuch. And therefore he says, Baruch Sheb Tarani Bos Shah. Pshat Divrei HaMedrash, Divrei HaMishnah Berurah. It's a big discussion. Is it only the Rabbanim? Many say it's only the Rabbanim, not the Raisa. That's maybe for another shir. In the meantime, we should be Zocha, Lumo, Bi'Olam, Yidlishma, V'Las, L'Kaimis, Kovid, Betzam, V'Teres, V'Yahava, Amen, Amen. Shalom, Shalom, Sweetest, most beloved friends.